conservative new media viewers and Jeremy Lin fans around the world. What's going on? We are here to go over Houston's 109-95 victory tonight over the Charlotte Bobcats in Houston, Texas. With the victory, Houston improves to 26-23. Charlotte falls to 11-35. Now, someone was asking me what happened to my woo, and that's a good question. I haven't brought out the woo in a while, but I will do a woo for this game because Houston had to win this game. They had to win this game, and they did win it, even though it got a little dicey early in the fourth quarter. So this was definitely a woo game. As I said, Houston had to win this. If they're going to make the playoffs, you can't lose to a team like Charlotte on your own floor. It just cannot happen. And even though the game did get a little out of control in the start of the fourth quarter when Charlotte went up by like 5 points or something, the team calmed down, they settled down. James Harden and Patrick Patterson really did good work in the fourth quarter. We definitely had Beard sanity tonight. It was the first triple-double of James Harden's career. Triple-double means you get double figures in three different positive categories. For James Harden tonight, that was scoring, points, rebounds, and assist. He had, I think, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. He played great. He really picked the team up in the fourth quarter. As I mentioned, Patrick Patterson had 14 points himself in the fourth quarter. He was huge. Omer Asik and Chandler Parsons also had big nights tonight. I just want to say there was a scary moment in this game early in the fourth quarter when Charlotte's Michael Kidd-Gilchrist suffered a head injury. I didn't see it exactly. I couldn't see what happened to him. My guess is that he probably got elbowed or something in the head. He was going up to play defense against a layup on a Houston fast break, and he just fell like face first, basically down onto the ground, and it was really scary. I mean, they had to take him off on a stretcher. It's something you would see like in an American football game, and he was down and probably for 10 minutes or something like that. They stretchered him out. He was taken to a hospital with a head injury. I don't know the latest on that, but we certainly send out our regards to him and his family and friends. Hopefully he will be okay and back in action quickly. Okay, on to Jeremy. Jeremy played really well in the first half of this game, particularly in the first quarter, but then he struggled in the second half of this game. A very rare occurrence for him. He almost always is the opposite of that, which is if he's going to struggle, it's going to come in the first half. I can remember like one or two other games that were like this season. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I do remember it happening, but it's certainly not what usually takes place for him. That's why he's Mr. Fourth Quarter, Mr. Clutch. Jeremy finished with 9 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists in 34 minutes. He shot 4 of 10 from the field. He was 0 of 2 from three-point range. He was 1 of 1 from the free throw line. 3 steals, 1 block shot, 4 turnovers, plus 13 and plus minus, and his efficiency number was 13. To give you a sense of how well he did in the first quarter, his efficiency number in the first quarter itself was 12, and his final efficiency number was 13. So it just shows you he dominated in the first quarter, and then and particularly in the third and fourth quarters. Now, Charlotte is a perimeter-oriented team. Their strengths are all in their guards, basically. Their wingmen, the guards, and like small forward. I'll give you a sense of this. The people that are listed as guards on their team, just if you look at the box score and you look, guard, those individuals for Charlotte scored 85 of the team's 95 points tonight. I mean, I don't know if you'll ever see that in almost any other NBA game. That just shows you that it's all about the perimeter, which is Kemba Walker, Gerald Henderson, Ramon Sessions, Ben Gordon, and a couple other of these guys. They're focused on that. Those guys must do well, and they are where they get the bulk of their scoring from. So I mentioned before that this was a revenge tour game because the last time these teams played about a week or week and a half ago in Charlotte, Kemba really torched Jeremy. I think that's over with now. Kemba played better than Jeremy tonight, but it was relatively close. And look, I mean, Jeremy shot 10 times and Kemba Walker shot 23 times. I mean, he had 24 points and 23 shots. Well, if you shoot 23 times, you're probably going to end up close to 24 points. So this was a much closer match than the first time. So I'm taking Kemba Walker off the revenge tour list, which means that the only person actively on that list right now is Drew Holiday of the Philadelphia 76ers. And they won't play the Sixers again. The Rockets won't until next season. So, cool. Now, we did have a situation that was somewhat similar to Denver in the first quarter, which is Kevin McHale took out Jeremy with like 5 minutes left in the first quarter. I just don't get that. I know he wants to get rest for him, but he usually takes him out at about 3 minutes. I'm not exactly sure why that happened tonight in this game, unless McHale just wanted a particular defensive matchup. But look, I'm not going to get crazy about that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I mean, Jeremy was rocking, and I just like, why are you taking him out now? I didn't quite get that. I'm not going to go over a lot of quarter by quarter right now. You guys saw, you probably saw, I just covered the UFC Overeem versus Bigfoot Silva fight, and I've got to watch the Frankie Edgar versus Jose Aldo fight in just a second. So, and the truth is, there's not a lot of quarter by quarter stuff here to do. Jeremy wasn't that good in the third and fourth quarters. He wasn't terrible, but he didn't do that much. Had a couple turnovers. He just was off his game tonight. The first and second quarters, particularly the first, he was great. I mean, we had a full court pass for a layup, none of the Jeremy Lin specials. He was in control. He found Omer for a dunk. Just does everything you wanted to see from him. But in the third and fourth, there wasn't a whole bunch to say in terms of positivity for what Jeremy did. Okay, I'm just looking here quickly. Yeah, the thing that's important for Lin fans to understand from this game, one of the things, is that, first of all the haters, because a lot of Lin fans are like, look, McHale messed up in the Denver game. And he probably did. And that Jeremy was so hot in the fourth quarter, it would have been better if Kevin McHale probably brought him in at the start of the fourth quarter and maybe even late in the third quarter. So the haters are going to say, well, he played, McHale put him in, and what happened? He didn't do anything. And that's fair. That's fair. I mean, that's a legitimate criticism. And that just shows you every game is different. No two games are the same. And Jeremy's still learning and growing. He still is going to have some growing pains and have some tough matchups and adjustments. The guys tonight, when Jeremy was struggling in the fourth, Ben Gordon, Kemba, it's like I said, they couldn't miss. And sometimes, again, if you want to go up against a guy, if you're motivated to go against a guy, sometimes you can play at a higher level than what you normally play at. And I mentioned this whenever Darren Williams played Jeremy the other day. Darren Williams still seems to have an issue with Jeremy because Darren Williams was the guy that Linsanity 1.0 started against. And it was like he just couldn't miss, it seemed like, whenever Jeremy was guarding him. That's kind of what happened here in the third and the fourth quarters to Jeremy. Ben Gordon hit like 2 3-pointers over Jeremy, and Kemba Walker made a couple nice shots against Jeremy. As I said, perimeter-oriented team. Kemba Walker's a fantastic shot maker. So, he can do that against almost anybody. Ben Gordon's a 3-point shooter, and he got in a good little groove. But I will say that when they took Jeremy out, when Kevin McHale took Jeremy out, and he brought in the fourth, and he brought him back in, which was really important. So he wanted to win he also gave him confidence by bringing him back in. At 4 minutes left in the game. So I really liked that. I thought Kevin McHale handled Jeremy great tonight. He made sure he was in there, I believe, late in the third and the start of the fourth. So he didn't make the mistake of the Denver game. He gave Jeremy a chance. Jeremy didn't get it done tonight, but that's how it goes. That shows that Kevin McHale learned from the mistake last time. Now, Jeremy didn't reward him tonight, but, this is how it works. You learn what what guys are doing, what they can do, who's hot, who's not, etc. But when it was Tony Douglas and James Harden guarding Kemba Walker and Ben Gordon, that worked really well. That worked well for Houston. It worked better than Jeremy Lin guarding Ben Gordon because James Harden's bigger than Jeremy. He's more physical than Jeremy, and that worked to kind of shut down Ben Gordon. And Tony is smaller and quicker than Jeremy. Quicker in terms of, quick first step or this type of thing. And so Kemba's relatively short. And so that worked better as well. So, again, another instance of where it's good to have good teammates. It is about individual matchups on offense and defense. Jeremy had a little bit of a tough time in the second half, and the teammates picked him up, and the team won. As I've said to you guys 100 times, the only thing that matters is the team wins. The team wins, Jeremy's cool. Jeremy's good. The story is not Jeremy Lin struggles in second half and Rockets lose. So I'm good with this game. We're moving on. Houston has said they had to win this game. Kemba is off of the revenge tour list. That's a positive. The next game coming up is this upcoming Tuesday in the United States, Wednesday early in Asia, versus the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are a good team. I think they're seeded number 5 right now in the Western Conference playoff. That's an important game. That's also an important game. They're a good team, but they're a beatable team. And hopefully Houston's going to be ready for that. And they're going to have a couple of days to rest and to practice up for that game. So they need to keep winning so that they can keep their playoff spot. The Los Angeles Lakers are starting to heat up right now. Lakers have won 4 of their last 5, and they're only 4 games back of Houston. So Houston needs to continue to put pressure on the Lakers and everybody else behind them by continuing to win as many games as they can while they're at home. Okay, that's it for now. I know there's different comments and stuff I wanted to get to from the last video comments. I'm sorry about that. Like I said, I'm a little bit rushed right now because of the UFC. This was going to happen sometimes on Saturday night games. When games are played Saturday in the USA, a lot of times I'll be watching or covering boxing, UFC and stuff. So sometimes the Saturday night videos might get a little shortened, but that's okay. We'll pick it up from there, and I'll go over the comments and try to work them into the next video. Okay, your comments below, thumbs up, thumbs down on this video. Give you full information, video highlights, box score, game stories in the video description below the video player. Also information so you can come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group. I am Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Hope everybody's having a great night, a great day, wherever you are around the world when you watch this. Take care. We will talk to you again soon.